Counterpunch promo live in 3, 2, 1.
Once upon a time, they awoke to the concerted effort underway to dummy them down, to the forces working at every turn to water down human wherewithal. They stood, they rallied, they drew their line in the sand, vowing once and for all to scale their spines and mortal up. That was the day the tables turned, and the universe itself sat up and took notice.
Live from the Outpost Studios in Columbus, Ohio, you're listening to All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy, brought to you by IPMNation.com. If you're not going to bring your own bold, why not just stay in bed?
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
This is not a drill.
All Natural Being. Warning, All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy is designed to shake your sense of self to the core.
It's full contact psychology with an empowering twist, a philosophical loofah for your soul.
For those of you not ready or comfortable releasing your inner superhuman, listener discretion is advised.
Here's your host,
Brian Brawdy.
Good morning, and thank you for stopping by and hanging out. Spotify, Spreaker, Overcast, blah, 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 blah. Just to drop a few names. Greetings wherever you are here in the garden of the mortals, the labyrinth of life itself, the ups and downs, the lefts, the rights, the pivots, the swerves, the flukes, the whims. Let's go over the list. The sheer havoc and synchronicity and serendipity of it all. Are there some blind alleys and cul-de-sacs? Absolutely, but never a dead end unless we decide to tap out. Until then, we're always putting your heart's highest priority top of the list so that we can out-brutal the brutal that is the cut and shuffle that fate can deal us on a daily basis, and for once and for all, bring your own bold. Before we hit it this morning, and it's wild saying that before we hit it this morning, a quick hello to my friends and to those joining us from all over the globe. It's great to have you with us, even though it's early. So what do you say? Here's your opportunity to mortal up, to crush your cant and your critics, to demand that your mind's eye and your true potential live wide open. So it's time. Let's go kick in some doors. And quickly, I just wanted to mention this morning, don't forget, you may not be accustomed to seeing us bright and early in the mornings, but you can send us a text at 833-MIND-UPS, 833-646-3877. Most certainly, you're welcome to give us a call as well. 833-646-3877, 833-MIND-UPS. We take phone calls, we take texts, and I'm supposed to remind you that some kind of fee could very well apply if you have an archaic plan that doesn't allow you to send text whenever you want. So something like that, I guess is what I'm supposed to say. All right, so here's what is so cool about being back on mornings. When I first started all this way back when, it was pre-tumor, it was pre-everything. And what happened was that, I'm cruising along, loving the fact that we're doing mornings and this and that. And then, bam, for those of you that know, speaking of those of you who know, let me say hello, Marcellus. Thank you for making the jump, or the fall backwards, I should say. Thank you very much. Lee is watching. Lee, thank you very much. First share, gong it up. Gong it up. Thank you very much, my friend. So here's the thing, which you may not know if you're watching here or listening in the mornings, right? If you're on IPMNation.com, every time you get a first share, you get a prayer bowl. And sometimes we get so many shares in the evenings, I had to bring in multiple prayer bowls, right? Just to make just to make certain, and to play it like it's live. Every so often, if we get to 10 shares, we get the gong back in here again. But Lee, thank you for making the fall backwards. Marcellus, thank you very much as well. I was going to say to people listening on radio, if you're not accustomed to have us with you as you're getting ready to get out the door, maybe you're already on the road, we like to think of this show as something that you can listen to as you're getting ready to start your day, as you're getting ready to do whatever it is you do. Maybe you're taking the kids to the bus. Maybe you're headed to the office. You're heading to the gym. Maybe you're already at the gym. We like to think of it as something that you can do to just prime your mind, as I said in the open, to radio that sparks your smart, because it runs through you. Your all-natural being runs through you. But at times, you and I do what we can to avoid that, to ignore that, and that's what we're going to try to do each and every morning now, Monday through Friday, 7. We're going to start out with a half hour, 7 to 7:30. Then we'll be going 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. As we get the approval to move forward. And by approval, I mean just checking with the doctors to make sure that just like I said this morning earlier in the tease, my doctors aren't up at this hour. And if they are, they're in surgery. So I really, there's no chance of them finding this out. Maybe they listen to our rebroadcast, if they're smart, they are neurosurgeons. Maybe they listen to the on demand, which you can catch on iTunes or iHeartRadio or Spotify, as I mentioned. Ian, thank you for joining us. Nice to see you all the way from across the pond. So we truly are an international show this morning, Ian. Thank you very much, as always. Nice to see you hanging out here in the thread. Don't forget, you can send us a text if you want, if that's a little easier, but maybe sometimes reading your phone this time of day isn't all that convenient. But if you want to send us a text, you can, 833-646-3877 or 833-MIND-UPS. You can also give us a call as well if that's something that you want to do. It's absolutely up to you. All right, so now that we get back to this, as you may know if you've been listening or following along, I had to move to evenings because evenings were a little easier in terms of my recovery plan from the brain tumor. But now we're back, and we're building our mornings around the concept of mortaling up. And the concept of mortal up, very simply, is that, as I said earlier, your brilliance, your strength, your stamina, your grit, your agility, it all runs through you. Nice to see you as well. Thank you, Ian. I'm feeling good, so thank you very much for that. So we're talking about what it takes to jumpstart your day by remembering ultimately who you are. And in case it's been a while, anyone's joining us, that having to deal with the bouts of amnesia like I have through all of this, it makes me a little more qualified to talk about amnesia, right? Because I have this cool little bracelet that I have to wear that reminds me who I am and where I am and that kind of thing. But more importantly, how about philosophical amnesia? How about the things that we forget? How about those things where we have blind spots, let's say it, right? And those blind spots are set up, right? They're not natural. They're contrary to our all-natural being. But these blind spots, this philosophical amnesia, keeps us from seeing who we truly are. And is not only who we truly are, but where we are here in the labyrinth of life itself. But that ultimately all those things we're capable of if we stop listening to the critics, if we stop listening to the Venus, the walking, talking Venus flytraps, all the naysayers around us that are convinced that we'll never be able to pull off what we want. So the show, as we've had it set up, is going to be one where if hopefully people tune in, they'll listen and they'll go, yeah, that's exactly what I needed to hear. It's not just motivation. It's not just inspiration. I'm not really fired up about those as concepts because it's always been my belief. If you know what you're all about, motivation is the last thing you need. If you know what your passion is all about, if you know what it takes to put your heart's highest priority top of the list, top of your list, then you know how this works. And motivation is something that doesn't really help you when you've clearly identified what it takes to hone your heart and your head. But in any event, we'll be interviewing some great experts. We'll have a different in terms of cutting edge mind and science around mind. We'll have philosophies from some of the top people in social media, some of the top people in life itself. And as I started to state in our new open, I've realized now how precarious life can be, right? I was, like I said, cruising along, had no idea. There I am, knocked out for a good couple of years with a brain tumor. So what I wanted to be able to share with you and mention throughout the shows as they go is that our time here is not guaranteed. So you have to live every day, as cliche as it is, as stoic as it is, you have to live every day like it's your last. Because you never can tell, right? What was it, Hemingway, for ask not for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee, right? So because you and I are in that position, we're in that position to mortal up, we never know. So we do really live every day like it's our last. And we fulfill our obligation as a human being, as a human passion, as a human intellect, to not stand in the way and let other people block that for us. And what happens is that whether it's politics, all the different things going on in the world, you have people without a lot of power trying to usurp your power, trying to siphon, trying to drain off your power. And sooner or later, you just have to admit that I either draw the line in the sand or I'm going to be permeable, right? I either draw the line in the sand. Well, that's an interesting ring. Look at that. Let's take it and see, man. Good morning. Thank you for calling All Natural Being. Who's this?
Hello, Brian. It is Derek Noel from Derek Noel Fitness.
Derek, how are you, sir?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you doing?
Very good. I hear you're busy this morning, but it's interesting. I was just saying the different things that we'll be doing, the different things that are going to go on here in the morning show, and not today because I know you're busy, but starting next Monday, Derek Noel from Derek Noel Fitness will be coming on with a fitness tip, with something that we can do so that throughout the week, we can start the week bright and early, right, with Derek's information. So Derek, thank you very much. And it's an absolute pleasure to have you here Monday mornings. And I think why it works for me so much is that you kind of help people get ready to face the week ahead. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm really pumped about it because everybody has a hard time waking up and everybody says, case of the Mondays, but it shouldn't be that way. People should wake up ready to attack the week. And hopefully these quick tips that I can give people, both fitness-wise and how to use their physical fitness in order to help the rest of their week out, hopefully it really helps drive them into the week ready to attack it.
I love that, too, because you think about you don't want to be behind the 8 ball before 8 a.m. on a Monday morning, right? So you want to be able to do the things that are best for your mind and your body. And I don't know, to be honest with you, Derek, if anyone worth any kind of education, if anyone really believes anymore that there's a separation between mind and body. You know what I mean? If what's good for one is good for the other. So that's why I'm fired up to have you here on Monday mornings and giving people just that information that they need. And but Derek's a really super knowledgeable guy. So it's not like it's just me saying, did you ever think of doing a squat thrust? Would like a burpee kill you? But Derek's in the know. He's been studying this stuff. He's got certifications out the yin yang. And so it's going to be great to have him here on Mondays to give us, a tip. So how's everything going this morning? Oh, and Derek, you're probably at the gym already. You're calling in from the gym, aren't you?
I am just in between my sessions right now. I figured I would call in real quick.
Well, thank you, sir, very much. We appreciate the call. We'll let you get back to it, and we'll have a timed segment every Monday mornings. Derek will be with us. We'll have a particular time so that you can tune in just to hear his tip of the week. But Derek, thank you very much for calling this morning. I super appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one, Brian.
You too, brother. Farewell. All right, we will be right back. Let's try this.
You're listening to All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy on IPMNation.com, The Bry. He'll be back in 59 seconds.
Hey there, this is Lee Rowley with Lee Rowley Copy Branding. You know why I dig All Natural Being? Because it's about unchaining your inner brilliance, reclaiming your voice, and saying no to just good enough. In other words, it's a lot like what we do for our clients. You see, today's consumers, they know what's up. They know the difference between a business that puts them first and one that just wants to separate them from their cash. That's why we do marketing differently. We immerse in your ideal buyer's world, and then we weave empathy, understanding, and artful persuasion into messaging that simply works. No more pushy, reheated marketing that makes your business as appealing as a cardboard sandwich. It's time to win over lifelong clients and customers with authentic, trust-based marketing. Get yours now at LeeRowley.com. Now back to All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy.
All right, Lee, thank you very much. Lee Rowley at Copy Branding. You want to check him out whenever you have an opportunity. One of the early sponsors. And I should also say, in addition to early sponsor of this show, also our 81 to Win, which if you haven't heard about it, it is our Guinness World Record setting attempt that will be coming up the first week of June, where we are going for the record of the longest call-in radio talk show in history, right? And it's going to take 81 hours to make that work. So we're pretty fired up about our attempt at that. All right, don't forget, if you want to give us a call this morning, tell us about how you might mortal up, or talk about some of the things that you'll be facing as you move throughout the day. 833-646-3877. If I do the math, it's 833-MIND-UPS. Also, you can give us a text at that very number, and that will hook you up as well. All right, so now we were talking right before Derek's call, and we're very excited to have Derek Noel from Derek Noel Fitness. As I said, we'll have a work. Don't forget, you can just log in to ipmnation.com/ or ipmnation.com the Bry, and you can listen to it live there. So if you're already heading to the gym, which makes me think I have to play this for you because it's just my friend Doug, this is his take on the show. All right, let's try this. Now, let's get Doug's take on the show.
All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy. Radio for the rare breed.
For the rare breed. I love that. And I would say to you that Doug recorded that over on he's up and out working out every morning. So if you're at the gym, you can take us. If you're in the car, if you're at the grocery store, if you're heading to the pool, if you're taking you've taken the kids to the bus stop, or getting them to school, or you're getting on, public transportation, whatever you're doing in the morning, we love the idea. Most of you here probably know that as an ex-cop, the term shotgun is something that's very important to me. So we love riding shotgun with you to address whatever it is, right? We love being your co-pilot. We love being, as we say all the time, we love being a virtual hitchhiker, and there to be able at those times to give you maybe that little shot of grit, right? Maybe just that little bit of what it's going to take for you to hone your heart and your head. That's what we're all about for All Natural Being. Now that we're back to mornings, and I think we're probably going to stay here for a good bit. Kathy, good morning. Thank you for joining us. Nice to see you. And as I said to Lee and I said to Marcellus, thank you so very much for making the fall back, right? Isn't it about time to change the clocks anyways? But falling back and hanging out with us in mornings, it's great to have you here. Sarah, good morning to you. Nice to see you. Please tell the boys I said howdy. Thank you for joining us. The morning show, the morning edition of All Natural Being. I shouldn't say edition because we're not doing nighttime editions anymore. I can tell you that right now. We're going to stick here with mornings. And what we're talking about this morning are those things, right? Those things that will allow us to lose the amnesia, to lose the blind spots, to take our life back. Those things that remind us that we have to stand in opposition, that, fate will do what it can to chop block us, but we have to stand in opposition to all those other forces aligned against us, all those other forces that don't want you to be successful, that don't want you to be happy, that don't want you to be firing on all cylinders. And all you have to do is look around in the news, you look around on the internet, anywhere you get your information from, and you realize there is in fact a concerted effort to do what these forces need to do to dummy us down, to water down human wherewithal. So we're fired up to be here to help you draw that line in the sand. Good morning to Wendy. Wendy, thank you so very much for joining us on the new, or the old All Natural Being. We got our start 425 episodes ago in morning radio in Aurora, Illinois. So we're somewhat accustomed to being 5 o'clock comes early, admittedly, but we're somewhat accustomed to being here in the mornings. So we're looking forward to being that go-to place, right? If you're looking for information on what happened overnight, well, chances are pretty good you're not going to get it here, right? If you're looking for that AccuWeather out the door 10-minute Klonstrom 9 weather forecast, yeah, I'm no good. I just check your phone, right? But if you're looking for that little bit of pump, if you're looking for that little bit of a reminder to crush your can't, as Lee says to me, to crush your can't, and while you're down there, smack your critics around a little bit, right? The walking, talking pits of quicksand in your life that are designed, really, right? They're miserable. They want you to be miserable as well. So what do you say? Let's not do that anymore. Let's find a way of putting your heart's highest priority top of your list each and every morning, and that's what we're going to do. Now, don't forget, if you're out and about and on the go, you can tune in to IPMNation.com. Now, if you have an Android app, we already have an app. The boys are busy working on the iOS version of that app as well, but we'll have an app here before too long. So we're kind of digging that. And I also wanted to play this for you, just a little walk down memory lane for me. This is from my good friend Bob. And every time I hear this sound bite, it just makes me smile.
You tired of the snake oil? Go to allnaturalbeing.com.
Bob, I saw this morning on social media, he's on a plane going to Vegas. Now, if you know my friend Bob, you're like, yeah, that guy could be in the pizza. That could, right? I see him as a pizza chef. I see him, right? His all natural being, something that he's passionate about. I definitely see it. Well, he is, maybe he's already there, but he was going to Vegas for the pizza convention. That's how he spun it, the pizza convention. So let me ask you, what is a passion of yours? Not that you have to go to Vegas for a convention for it, but what's a passion of yours that maybe you've put on the back burner? Maybe you've left in a junk drawer. Maybe it's stacked out in the garage in some dusty old cardboard box. What is that passion that if you put your heart's highest priority top of the list, you could actually bring a smile to your face as you get ready to jumpstart this Monday morning? That's what we're going to be all about here on All Natural Being, are finding those things. Maybe some of it, maybe what you and I will find is some of the people standing, is like a speed bump, if not an absolute roadblock. Maybe some of those voices come from within our own minds. Maybe at times we can be our own worst enemy. So we'll be addressing here in All Natural Being, the morning show version, we'll be addressing those things, right? When we talk about, what's the term, enemies, foreign and domestic. Well, it's not just a great line for politics, but a great line for living your life. All enemies, foreign and domestic. So you might have some foreign. I call it chatterdom on the outside. So, right? Like a speed bag. No. Always trying to tell you what to do. And then on the inside, I call chatterdom binge thinking, right? And ultimately, doctors are just in with this, but binge thinking has about as much nutritional value for you as, I don't know, binge eating on styrofoam packaging peanuts. So you get where I'm going. So we can stand in opposition to external chatterdom, foreign, and internal binge thinking, to realize that ultimately, when we put our heart's highest priority top of the list, that's what makes life fire on all cylinders. So that's what we'll be doing here Monday through Friday, 7 a.m., initially 7 to 7:30, then we'll be going for an hour, then 2 hours, then 3 hours as I ramp back up. But that's our goal, which is really what I wanted to do this morning, was kind of highlight. So maybe you could, if you want to suggest it to someone that is having a rough go of it, someone that's down in the dumps, someone that's just looking for that shot of early morning motivation. We'd love to have them along for the ride, or we'd like to come along for the ride with them each and every morning. All right, let's do this real quick.
You're listening to All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy on IPMNation.com. The Bri.
When they write the story of your life, what will they say about today? All right, that's the question that I want to get ready to kind of wrap up the show with. When they write the story of your life, what will they say about today? Is today going to be the day where you're done? You realize that the things that make you happiness, or that make you the happiest, run deep through you. Is today going to be the day where you stop turning a blind eye and a deaf ear to all things that put that smile on your face? Is today going to be the day where you rise and draw your line in the sand and say, no, I'm not going to be hip checked. I'm not going to be chop blocked if Marcellus is still with us. I'm not going to be chop blocked by fate. I'm going to do everything I can to live this life to the fullest, to live my potential, to live my passion to the fullest. All right, in the closing minutes, 833-MIND-UPS, 833-646-3877. If you want to give us a call or a quick text. And that's what we're doing for the rest of the day, is designing out a show that allows you to do just that. An early morning show that primes your mind and says, yeah, you know what? I'm done putting up with it. I'm not going to do this anymore. So yes, I'll be very, very happy to put my heart's highest priority top of the list. And there'll be all kinds of excuses, the people around you, all the critics, all the naysayers, everyone will be going, oh, you can't do that. That's narcissistic. That's hedonistic. That's all these other things. They'll be telling you, oh, there's no way you're going to do that. You got to look out for everyone else. And all I'm suggesting is that every so often, there's nothing wrong with looking out for yourself. There's nothing wrong with making sure that you're doing exactly what you want to do in life. And quickly, as we get ready to run here, I call them 20-minute victories. If you take a 24-hour day, you slice it up like a pie. You slice it up. You get 72 chunks of 20 minutes, right? So are you worth 1/72nd of your day? Good morning, Ryan. Nice to see you. Thank you for joining us. Here now, the morning show of All Natural Being. Thank you so very much. Good morning to you as well. And we're getting ready to wrap talking about 20-minute victories. So the question is, when people say, oh, you can't do that, that's hedonistic, that's narcissistic, that's selfish, that's all these other things. What we're talking about here is, can you take 1/72nd of your day, one chunk, one 20-minute victory, and do nothing more than be a little narcissistic, be a little more selfish, be a little more self-centered on the things that cause a smile to come to your face. You'll have 71 other opportunities, right, to make sure that you're not being overly selfish or overly this or that. So just think about that as we get ready to go this morning. 1/72nd of your day, 20 minutes. What would you do right now? Right now. If for the next 20 minutes you can put your heart's highest priority top of the list. All right, we've got to run. Thank you so very much for joining us at All Natural Being. We will be back tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., and we'd love your critique. If there's anything that you're thinking, oh, yeah, would you ever think of doing this? Did you ever think of doing that? Yeah, chances are pretty good, maybe not. So give us a holler, send us a text, leave us a post in the Facebook feed, and let us know exactly what you're thinking about. All right, we will be back bright and early tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. Until that time, mortal up. Get out there. Bring your own bold. There's a way of using BYOB. Bring your own bold and have an absolutely fantastic day.
You've been listening to All Natural Being with Brian Brawdy.
Join us live every Monday through Friday, 7 to 8 a.m. Eastern.
Also, check us out around the clock at allnaturalbeing.com.
Until then, always remember to bring your own bold.